Welcome to Brag Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. For the next hour, best-selling real estate investing author Larry Goins and co-host Kandas will help show you the many ways real estate creates the ideal investment. Whether you want to flip houses or become a passive investor making double-digit returns while others do all the work, you'll learn how on Brag Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. Here are your hosts, Larry and Kandas.
How are you?
What's up? I've had a lot of people say, is this Chad guy for real? Is that like a pre-recorded thing that you guys pay for? No, Chad is really real. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
It's like we have Chad buttons, the Chad intro, the Chad radio voice, the Chad triangle. Yeah,
he plays the triangle.
he does. Yeah,
That's
he does.
hilarious.
He's phenomenal.
Multi-talented, yes.
Phenomenal at it. Never seen anybody play it quite like Chad.
Very good. The air triangle.
It's a very rare skill.
Apparently.
I believe it.
You're the first one I've ever seen do it.
But now you do it too.
That's good. Yeah, I do. Yeah, hey, now there's two of us. That's
Oh,
awesome.
the world's not ready.
So what is Brag Radio about, Kandas?
Brag Radio is about teaching people how to invest in real estate and then get to a point where you can be generous with your time and money.
That's right. We want people to brag. Are you bragging? We're
Me?
bragging.
Yeah,
you
we
bragging? We're bragging. You need to go out there and be bragging. Be rich and generous. That's what brag means. Apparently we don't say it enough. I've had a lot of people, I travel around all over the country. Last week I was in Cleveland. I was in Akron, Youngstown, Dallas, Texas, DFW area, and then back to,
Charlotte?
Columbus.
Oh, back to Columbus.
I want to say Colombia, but Columbus.
But that's not right.
No, wrong accent with the wrong city, right? But yeah, I've had people that talk about the show and stuff all over, and they say, Larry, what does brag stand for anyway? Isn't that kind of conceited? Well, maybe we don't talk about it enough.
Maybe
about
you
what
didn't
it means.
listen to the whole show.
Yeah, that's what it is. You only heard brag radio. Like, I don't want to listen to this. Right?
That is actually how people sound in his head. That's what he tells me. That's what I sound like in his head.
That's funny.
So sad.
Exactly. So yeah, we got a lot going on in real estate right now. We're growing our team again, and we got Sylvia there. We've got Andrea there, and we're marketing a bunch of properties. Got a bunch of stuff under contract. Got notes and properties for sale.
I should have got an update like yesterday or this morning or something with how many we have left. Like what we've got. I know we get properties in all the time, but the notes that we have, because we aren't really holding any notes after the ones that we've got right now. We're trying to the market's calling for us to just buy sell, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
And why
What
is that?
Like a
Why
squat exercise over there? What are you doing?
I'm doing nothing. Let me just stand still. I can't stand still. You know that.
Well, Lynn backed up. That's why I looked at you.
Is that what's going on? Yeah, Lynn's sitting in the Herman Miller chair over there. The rest of us are in the Walmart special. Oh, excuse me, the Sam's Club special.
Sam's Club special.
That's funny.
Anyway,
so what are we talking about today on the Brag Radio? Be rich and generous in real estate.
Well, we had a question come in, and it is...
We have questions?
We have a lot of questions come in. If you guys have questions, just send them to info@bragradio.com. info@bragradio.com. I'll get you answered right away, but we'll also kind of hold your question, because if you've got it, I'm sure you're not the only one, so we'll talk about it on the show too. This one is asking about the process for you funding Filthy Rich's deals, because the material, and when we talk about Filthy Rich's, we tell people that you fund their first Filthy Rich's deal. After that, you'll fund as many as they need, but after the first one, they really shouldn't need you to fund any more than that. But
that's true.
She wanted to know, I know that's true, but she wanted to know the process of how that worked. So I'm sure she's not the only one, so why don't you tell everybody?
Well, first of all, I need to talk about what is Filthy Rich's. Okay?
If anybody is listening to the show for any amount of time, they know what is Filthy Rich's.
Well, but if in case they don't know, maybe they're just flipping the dial and they just kind of happen to tune in. Filthy Rich's is a model that I didn't invent the model. I just perfected it.
Like the chicken sandwich.
I guess you could say that. But Filthy Riches is a model.
Lynn just shakes her head at me now.
Now she's backing up from you.
Our rabbit holes just go off the wall.
That's crazy. So anyway, Filthy Riches is a model where you buy a cheap house nobody else wants, and then you turn around and sell it as is with no rehab, and you turn around and sell it for 3 to 6 times what you paid for it with owner financing or lease option, and you get returns anywhere. We've had returns anywhere from 141 to 788% return. Okay, I'm not saying you can do that, but I do know we've had many students that have done the exact same thing. Okay, many of them. So that's the model, Filthy Riches. And if a person goes out there and say they buy a $10,000 property, all right, it's not going to be, a glamorous property, okay? But remember, everybody's got to live somewhere, all right? I just made an offer on a house yesterday. It's in York County. It's listed for $9,900.
MLS or HUD?
It's on MLS, and it's listed for $9,900. Okay. And it's got a tenant in it already.
If you could see his hands, he's like crazy hands.
So, listen, I'm gonna probably pick it up for $6,000 or $7,000, and then I'm gonna turn around and sell it to an investor, and I'm gonna turn around and sell it to an investor for about $30,000. They're gonna put a couple $1,000s down, so now I have $4,000 or $5,000 in it, and then the return on that is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I mean, imagine if I've got $5,000 invested in a property and I'm getting $400 a month. 400 times 10 or times 12 is $4,800 a year, right? And I got $5,000 in the property, right?
Right.
Is that crazy?
Yes, it's crazy.
That's about 100% return on your money.
Or what? Now, with the down payment that the investor puts down, because this is already loaded, you said they could put down $5,000 or so, but that's not. I mean, that's pretty much the minimum that we take. We don't start out saying, "Hey, it's $5,000 down."
Right.
We
well,
start
I said
out saying,
even if they put a couple $1,000s down.
Well, we start out saying, "How much do you have to put down?"
That's true. That is the best way to sell that.
It's the best way to position the question.
Anyway, what we do is we teach you how to do that exact same model. However, I know a lot of people getting started in real estate, they do not have the $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000 to start. So I will fund their deal, and that's the question you're talking about.
The question was, yes, what is the process for Larry to fund Filthy Rich's deals?
Well, first of all, you have to be a Filthy Rich's student, which means you've got to watch the webinar or come by the office and get the DVD so you can understand what the model is all about, okay?
Well, the Filthy Riches webinar presentation, though, too, is in the investor kits. You can call the office 877-LARRY-GO and request a digital kit, and it'll come to you for that as well, or come to you in that as well. Or you could schedule an office tour, and it'll be in the physical kit when you get there to talk to one of the guys and see how everything works.
Well, what does one of the guys mean?
One of the guys, David, Dean, Ron, guys that are at the office. That's who will take people on the tours.
Our education consultants, and they actually help people to figure out where they are and where they want to be. And so anyway, you watch the DVD, you watch the webinar, okay? And then when you become a Filthy Riches student, okay, then I will fund your deal. The only reason I only fund deals for students is otherwise people are going to call up, hey, I want funding for this deal. And I'm going to say, no, that doesn't fit the criteria. And when it doesn't fit the criteria, they're going to get frustrated.
They don't know what the criteria is.
If they have the training in their hand, they know what I will fund. Okay? And I've funded deals for people. They put no money into the deal, and I'm looking over their shoulder and helping them. Call right now one of my ed consultants, 877-LARRY-GO. That's 877-LARRY-GO. Get the DVD, get the investor's kit. It includes a free copy of our book, Getting Started in Real Estate Day Trading, HUD Homes half off. And when we come back, I'm going to share with you exactly how I will fund your deal. And I don't care what your current situation is. No job, no credit, no experience, no income. I will fund your deal for you and get you started right away. 877-LARRY-GO.
We'll be right back. Can I go? Is it good? Welcome back to Brag Radio. Chad's pointing at me with two fingers and made it a little weird.
That's what happens with live radio, right?
Signals get crossed.
On the radio network. Just think of all the airwaves, like all across the country on the Brag Radio Network. They heard all that.
So, that's what happens. It's real. They don't need to hear you drinking your water, okay? That takes it to a whole new level of weirdness.
So what are we talking about?
We're talking about the
on
process.
the Brag, Be Rich and Generous Radio
show.
Network.
We're talking about the process for people to get their Filthy Riches. If you are a Filthy Riches student, we will fund your Filthy Riches deals. So the question was, what is the process for Larry to fund my Filthy Riches deal?
That's awesome.
First of all, you got to be a student.
That's right. And just by the way, before I get into this, I've had more people tell me they've been to seminar after seminar after seminar. They bought book after book, course after course. And when they finally got involved in this Filthy Riches model, they finally did a deal. We get that all the time, don't we, Kandas?
We really do, yeah.
Because it's a different model, okay? It's different. You buy a house for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. Then you turn around and sell it for 3 to 6 times what you paid for it with owner's financing. No buyer's list, okay? No buyer's list. And then once you turn around and sell it, then you can sell the note and cash out. And you can literally make, in the numbers I just gave you, you can make somewhere between $16,000 to $28,000 cash in your pocket. And I'll fund the deal for you, right?
Right.
So how does the funding work? Okay?
That's the question.
The question is, how does the funding work? It works really good. Next question.
They want to know the process.
Okay, the process is, once you get a deal under contract, based on the criteria that we give you in the training, based on that criteria, you get the deal under contract, and then you submit it to me. There's a web page that you go to submit the deal, okay? Once you submit the deal, then I'll take a look at the deal, and I personally take a look at the deal, and I will reach out to you to ask you questions about the deal, all right? And then we'll take a look at it. I'm not concerned about your credit. I'm not concerned about your debt ratio. I'm not concerned about your income. I'm not concerned about your experience, okay?
The deal's just got to make sense.
As long as the deal meets the criteria for what we're doing, okay? None of that other stuff matters, okay? I'm not going to be checking to see what your credit score is or any of that stuff, okay? You do need to have an entity set up, okay? That is very important. You got to have an entity set up, all right? However, because I don't loan to individuals, I loan to the business, all right? So it's a commercial loan, which you need to have an entity set up anyway. We can help you with that anyway. We got an organization that does that for us and for our students, right?
Right.
So anyway, so you get that lined up. You get your note buyer lined up, which in the training, I show you exactly what to do and how to do that. Once you got the property under contract and you're marketing your property and you got your note buyer lined up, bada bing, I'll fund the deal for you. And if the numbers don't work, I'll let you know. And not only that, but I'll let you know why the numbers don't work.
So is there any type of approval on the property versus approval on the funding, or is it all at the same time?
Well, that's all I'm really approving is the property. It just happens to be that whoever the student is that is requesting the funding, the funding is going to their LLC to pay for the property.
Does it have to be loaded? Loaded means a tenant in it already.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
It can't really be because they haven't closed on it yet.
Well, they haven't closed on it, but they need to have marketed it. They need to be marketing it, and they need to have a buyer lined up.
For the note or for
both,
the property?
For both. That's very important, okay?
What if they're not sure? I mean, you're saying that you're going to approve it on the property alone, but if they do all this work and they have marketing done, they have somebody interested in the property, and then you come back and say this property is not going to work.
Okay, if the property itself does not meet the criteria,
but they've already got it. They've already got these other things in motion. Do you see what I'm saying? Like they've already got these other things in motion to where they've got somebody interested in the property. They've already got money with their marketing spent. they've got somebody interested in the property. They've already talked to and have a note buyer interested. Let's say all those things work out, and then they submit the property, and you don't like the deal.
Well, first of all, they shouldn't be marketing the property yet until they know if they're going to get their funding for it.
But they can't. You're saying that's where I'm saying there's a contradiction because they can't submit it to you without them being marketing the property.
Oh, but contraire.
Contraire, mon frere. Help me understand.
Okay, here's the process. Here's the process. Let me learn you, okay?
All right.
First thing you're going to do is go through the Filthy Riches training.
Got it.
You're going to understand exactly what we're looking for, all right?
With the property, right.
You get a property under contract.
Got it.
You send it to me. I take a look at it. I say yes, no, or yes if you do this, okay? For example, I say, yes, I'll fund it. You need a little discount. In other words, let's say you're paying $10,000 for the property. I'm only going to loan you $8,000 because that's all I would pay for it. Okay. So once we know if you've got to go ahead, okay. Once you get a go ahead, then you're going to start marketing the property right away. And based on the training in the course, you should have already lined up your note buyer,
right.
Okay, to take you out of the deal. You should have already lined them up. Does that make sense?
But it's a non-institutional note buyer.
It's a non-institutional note buyer. And I show you, not only do I show you in the course how to go find those note buyers, okay? But I show you what we do, how we do it, and you can go out there and get these note buyers lined up. There's a lot of people out there with money sitting on the sidelines, whether it be in a retirement account, 401k, an IRA, or just sitting in a cash account, or maybe it's in a mutual fund and they're scared to death that their 401k is about to turn into a 101k, so they want to pull that money out and they want to invest it in something that is more solid and secure. And the way we do it, if somebody's buying a note, if they're paying no more than 70 or 75% of the value of the property, the market could drop 25 to 30%. And they're still whole.
Right.
They won't lose any money. Show me anything in the financial markets that can compare to that. Call my guys, 877-LARRY-GO, get you investor's kit, right?
Right. Well, and I know that the reason that we do, or the reason that Larry says it needs to be a non-institutional note buyer is because the institutions require there to be seasoning on the notes. When you guys are lining up something this quick, you're not going to have that seasoning on them, but there are non-institutional note buyers that are familiar with how this process works, and they're okay with it not being seasoned. They're going to look at the property, and they're going to approve the property and make their deal, make their decision based on the property.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Right.
Right. Thank you.
Yes. That is correct. Absolutely.
I didn't
Very
really
good,
pose
Kandas.
that as a question, but your
Very
validation is important to me.
Yeah, I do require a lot of validation as well, as you know. Yeah, that's good. So what you got to do is you got to get the Filthy Riches training, and then I'll fund your deal for you. We're going to show you how to go find your note buyers so you can cash out a deal and earn somewhere between $16,000 and $28,000, right? Now, I'm not going to tell you it's easy, but it is simple because I've simplified it.
It's simple and it's worth it.
Absolutely it is.
It's definitely worth it. But you guys can give the guys a call, 877-LARRY-GO. You can ask them to send you a digital copy of the Investor's Kit. It's going to have the Filthy Riches presentation in there, one of the HUD books, a copy of the Real Estate Day Trading book. You can get all of that digital along with some other things, or if you'd like to schedule an office tour and come by the office and see how we do what we do and meet the people that do it for us or with us, then give the guys a call too on the same number, 877-LARRY-GO, and tell them that's what you want to do, is schedule an office tour, and you can pick up the physical kit while you're there. While you're on the phone with them, get registered for our upcoming 3-day training event. The one that we've got coming up soon is in Cleveland, but we've also got a Charlotte one coming again in August. So you can get registered for either one of those if you want to go ahead and do that. We are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Brag Radio. We're back.
Oh, wow, man.
We are doing horribly with paying attention today.
Look like this year.
Great video.
I brought my pencil. Give me something to write on, man.
This is a radio show.
Sorry.
Not about music. You and Chad get so carried away.
I know, right? Love that song, too. All right, so welcome back to Brag Radio, leading the world, investing in real estate to be rich and most generous. We talk about real estate investing. We're local to the Charlotte area. This is our flagship station at the WBT Studios at 1 Julian Price Place in Charlotte, North Carolina, right?
Right.
That's it. So what are we talking about today?
Well, we were talking about what was the process for us to fund a Filthy Riches deal. And that kind of led into what has to kind of take place. So we talked about that over the last two segments. But what about if you go through the criteria of some of what you're looking for with a Filthy Riches deal?
Well,
I know it's all listed in the course, and it goes into a lot of detail in the course.
It is. But here's the thing as well. In the course, it does go through everything. However, okay, first thing you got to do is pull the rent comps. What are the rents for the area? Then you figure a payment with the calculator that comes in the training to figure a payment, and that'll tell you what you can finance the house for. And then you add the down payment to that, and there's your sell price, okay? And then you want to make sure that sales price is at least 3 to 6 times more what you paid for it, and bada bing, that's it. Those fancy rehabs, no hard money loans, none of that stuff. You know exactly what you're going to make day one before you ever pick up the phone to make an offer on a property. It's the fastest, simplest, safest,
Everything
secure,
you do
no
is
risk
the
way I've
fastest,
ever
simplest,
seen.
easiest way to get started in real estate investing.
You like it.
I do.
That's funny. So that's the Filthy Riches model. The other model is the day trading in model.
We don't fund day trade deals, though.
Well, no, we don't fund day
But
trading deals, but you don't need funding.
You don't
we
need
just
funding.
did a deal last week where we bought a house for $33 and sold it for $49.9, and we put up $500.
But we are co-wholesaling.
We will co-wholesale, yes.
That's what I'm saying. So we won't fund a day trader deal fully, but we will co-wholesale it with somebody.
Yes. Now, some people don't even understand what wholesaling means.
Well, why don't you go through that just like you do with the Filthy Riches model?
Well, wholesaling is where you buy property at a deep discount, and then you're going to turn around and sell it at a small profit, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000.
This is where quantity really makes up.
Yeah, stack them deep and sell them cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I call it. What?
There you go. That's perfect. That works.
That's
People
it.
can remember that.
That's it. You like my little Larryisms, don't you?
Yep.
Stack them deep and sell them cheap. And I bought houses as cheap as $1,500, and or made as little as $1,500 doing this, and as much as $75,000 on one deal. It was in Pensacola, Florida. Bought it for $700 and sold it for $775. I put up a $500 deposit. Anybody listening to this can do that. If you can't come up with $500, you send me the deal, and I'll take half of the profit, and I'll fund it. Right?
That's fair enough.
I'll put up the $500. Hey, I'd rather have a little bit of something than all or nothing.
That's what
if I was on the other end of the mic, that's what I'd be thinking.
Just to get started.
I'd rather have a little bit of something than all or nothing. Right, Lynn?
Yes, definitely.
Exactly.
Take a couple of those, and then you'll be off and on your way.
That's it. So that's day trading and wholesaling. We also do co-wholesaling. 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 What did I say?
I don't
It was kind of weird.
Co-wholesaling we do.
Co-wholesaling. That sounds like I'm from Dog Trot, don't I?
It's something. It's like when you picking on me about saying whole-sold it.
Whole-sold it?
Yeah.
We whole-sold that one. I forgot about that. I got to write that down. I've got Pam-isms. I need to start some Kandas-isms. That's funny. So we will co-wholesale a deal.
It's getting worse.
Which means if you have no money, okay, you come by the office and get a copy of my book, okay? It's available wherever books are sold. You can get them at Barnes & Noble, Borders, Books A Million, or on Amazon. Or you can come by and take a tour of the office, and we'll get you a book, okay? And for free. So come by and get a copy of the book, and it'll teach you how to day trade real estate. And if you have no money, not even enough for the deposit, whatever, you can get the deal under contract, and then I will sell it for you, and we'll split the profit. If there's a $10,000 profit, you get 5, I'll get 5. Is that a deal?
Yep.
Chad, will you bring me a deal next week?
Sure, why not?
He sounds so unbelievable right now.
Sure, Larry, why not?
I'll bring you a deal. Just wait.
That's funny.
He's not bought in yet. He's not.
No,
he's not in
not.
it.
He's not. Although he's
You haven't brought me an investor's kit yet, though.
You haven't asked for one.
You haven't come by the office.
That's true.
Yeah, you got to come by the office.
You haven't asked for a digital one.
We can't.
And you haven't scheduled an office tour
We
to come
can't
by
do
and
it
get
for
one.
you.
That's true.
We can't do it for you.
You got to have some skin in the game.
Yeah,
You
at
took
least
my
drive
line.
to Lake Wiley.
You took
Come
my-
on, Chad.
You took my line. That's funny.
Lynn drove all the way to Fort Mill for me one day.
Well, she's a lot nicer person than I am, though.
I will agree with that statement. She doesn't gang up on me like you do with Larry.
Wow.
It's brutal in here when you're not here, Lynn.
That's crazy. See, Chad knows not to give Lynn a microphone. Yeah. Right. Okay, so day trading in real estate.
So you left off with we'll put up the deposit and we'll sell it.
Well,
And
yeah,
split
we'll
the-
co-wholesale.
split the
We've got a huge buyers list.
Huge.
Buyers list. It's tremendous.
They're
We've got a
ready.
huge buyers list.
They're ready for properties right now too.
Absolutely, guys. The real estate market is hot right now. It really is. It's a hot market right now. It is a seller's market right now, but we are still buying properties at 50, 40, 30% of list price all over in many states, multiple states, mucho states.
Mucho states.
And we have students that
What
are
is
buying
happening?
properties
This-
all over.
This whole show, he's been doing some kind of Mexican something. It must have been when we ate for lunch.
That's because we had Ray Azteca for lunch.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
It just kind of rubbed off, I guess. I don't know.
Sad.
Choripollo. All right, so what are we talking about next? I want to tell people. I just
Tell
got
them what you want to. Just go ahead. Tell them.
Okay.
Tell them.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm working on it. Simmer down. I just got an email from Anish. Anish says, "How in the world do you find these deals at these deep discounts?" That's a
Really?
good question, isn't it? Well, Anish, let me tell you. I got 2 minutes to tell you this, okay? So I just got the 2-minute warning from Chad.
You're wasting seconds.
So anyway, there's a tremendous amount of ways to find it. In fact, in the real estate day trading book, there's 67 different ways to find properties. You can find them on Craigslist, MLS, HUD, Zillow.com, Realtor.com, Trulia.com, ConnectingInvestor.com, PropBot.com. Notice all these can be done online with zero marketing cost. If you want to spend some money on marketing, you can do direct mail. You mail to absentee owners, to landlords. There's many different ways to find properties. You put out bandit signs. Those are the signs that you see everywhere that says "I buy houses" or "We buy houses" or "Larry buys houses" or something like that. You put out signs. There's just a tremendous amount of ways to find deals. Even Facebook. Facebook is a great place to find deals right now. One of our students in our student group, you go to Facebook.com and you type in Larry Goins official student group, okay?
Official Larry Goins
Official.
student
You got to
group.
type in official, okay? Because that's the official one. And you joined that group and people are buying and selling properties with each other all the time, aren't they, Kandas?
They are. They network like crazy on those groups.
They absolutely do. I was just looking at one on here yesterday. Somebody bought and sold right there in the Facebook group. So, Anish, there's a ton of different places that you can find these properties, okay? And when we come back, we're going to dive deeper into bragging, being rich, and generous with the generous portion. Right, Kandas?
That's right. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We've got Cecilia on today to highlight her. She's been doing some great things, and I thought it was about time.
What's up, girl? How you doing?
Hey.
There she is.
We are so glad that you can join us today on our Being Rich and Generous portion of the show. And those of you who do not know, we met her out in Phoenix, Arizona, actually in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, you met her before I did.
Yeah.
Tucson.
Yep. And then and that was not too long ago. And then you came to a 3-day event that we had in Phoenix, Arizona.
That was in December.
And
Correct.
right away, you started doing deals. And so tell us a little bit about yourself, about, meeting us and that sort of thing. And then we'll talk about the generous portion.
So, well, just to give you a short background, we've been doing this for 10, 15 years now. And we've done all kinds of deals. We're landlords, and we have our rentals. We've been doing flips, and then the market, goes up and down. So we've done manufactured homes on land as flips. So when I met you at the Tucson as RIA meeting, I went, whoa, I listened to what you had to say, and you said, well, wait a minute. Buy them, then do seller finance and hold the note, sell the note. And I went, wow, I never thought of doing that. So all these real estate meetings and seminars and stuff like you're doing is so good for people like an experienced investor like ourselves, because I learned something new. I heard what you said. I left that meeting on the Tuesday night, went home, got on the dang computer, and started looking for a deal.
That's awesome.
Is that a brand name? The dang computer? That's not a Mac, though, is it?
No, it's not. But the thing was, I said, let me see if I can find something. And I'm a 66-year-old Nana. So
Proud Nana.
I'm not a young one. I'm an old woman. And I went home, and I just went, let me see if I can find something. And sure enough, I found one. And I go, this is because I listened to what you said. I wrote down your criteria, and I went, oh, there's one. It was like I was fishing and caught one on the line.
You were fired up, weren't you?
I was. So I called my agent, and by the time I had gotten to the 3-day, I kind of, it went on, and with these HUDs, it goes on, then somebody puts a bid in sometimes, and it goes away. And I was in a panic. I went, oh, it went away. I kept watching it every day, morning and night. And one day I woke up, got on the computer, and there it was. And I called the agent, and I said, get that house for me. It was beautiful. Larry, it's a 2-acre horse property.
Whoa.
A 2,000 square foot house.
Nice.
That was built in, well, HUD said it was 2009. Zillow's saying it was 2010. We don't care.
Close enough.
I checked the addendums and the property. I didn't even know they had that until your 3-day.
So what are you buying it for? Celie, what are you buying the property for? What did you buy the property for?
Boy, it's closed.
How much did you pay for it?
$46,700.
Awesome.
What are you selling it for, or have you already sold it?
No, I'm selling it for $133,000. Hello.
And how many tens of thousands of dollars did you have to put into repairs?
Oh, a whole lot of carpet and flooring. That was it. We did throw a coat of paint on it just to freshen it up. But that house, even the people that came in to take pictures of it went, wow, this house is gorgeous. So we put maybe less than $5,000 in it.
Okay, so you're going to have 55-ish in it, something like that, maybe.
Yes.
Somewhere around there, and you got it on the market now for $130,000.
133, and Zillow, which we can take with a grain of salt, has it as 163. So anybody looking at it's going, oh wow,
they're getting a deal.
That's great.
It's
awesome.
a deal. And to tell you the truth, you got us so hooked on this way that we're selling some of our rentals, and we're buying as many of those HUD houses as we can.
That is
just
awesome.
For cash flow with seller financing, and call it a day. We're done.
I love it. I love it. So, Sealy, with everything that you've got going on, how are you guys being generous? What are you doing with that?
Oh, well, the funny thing is we've always done that. That's something that we did from day one. The first day we made a flip before, as soon as that money went into the account, we have several different charities. St. Jude is a big one. St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Okay.
That's a big one for us. My grandsons, Noah and Caleb, I know you got your Noah. Noah and Caleb are 8 and 10 right now, and a few years ago, they didn't have computers in their school. And I went, you don't have computers in the school? So the principal, Mr. A, that we called him Mr. A, he said, yeah. He said, we don't have them. I said, well, Mr. A, tell me, what's your wish list? He said, my wish list would be for 24 computers so that we could have the computer class and have all the children have a computer class. So they didn't need 24 computers for each class. They just had 24 computers for all the children, and they would have a class of computers.
That's awesome.
So I said, well, I'm not really a good computer person. Tell me what you need. And they were these little computer Google Chrome things.
Right, Chromebooks.
Yep, that was it.
Yep.
Got on there, ordered them, and I walked in one day and I said, Mr. A, what address you want me to give you? You're getting 24 computers. The tears in his eye, he couldn't believe it.
That's awesome.
I said, well, there were tears in the principal's eyes. He said, what do you mean? I said, you said you needed 24 computers. I'm getting you 24 computers.
That is
I said,
awesome.
they're supposed to come on Tuesday, but I didn't have an address. You want them delivered to the school? He said, that would be awesome. So now all those children, because it's 400 kids in the school, 400 children now will have a computer class because we're blessed. Our kids have computers in their homes because their parents use them for work.
That's
but
great.
Not everybody has that.
And that's what real estate has done for you. That is awesome.
Well, and here's one quick thing. It's not always cash. It's not always money. We have a tenant who's been a Section 8 tenant with us in the same property for 7 years. That woman pays on time every month, and if every landlord had a tenant like her, we'd never be complaining.
What are you doing with her?
Oh, so...
We got about 30 seconds.
She works. So with her job, she doesn't make enough to actually support her family. So Section 8 has knocked her down to a 2-bedroom because a couple of the kids got older. And I said, Elena, why don't you just buy the house?
So you're helping her become a homeowner.
Oh, well, I don't know.
That's great.
I sent her to our mortgage person because people don't know how to fix their credit.
Real quick.
Her credit is being fixed. It's not that bad.
Good. So you're helping her become a homeowner. Sealy, thank you so much for sharing that. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you for being on and for the blessing that you are to so many other people.
That's going to wrap up today's Bragg Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. For more information about what Larry and Kandas talked about on today's show, or to get a free investor's kit, call 877-LARRY-GO. That's 877-527-7946. You can also go to braggradio.com. Make sure to tune in every Saturday for Bragg Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. Larry and Kandas will show you how to invest in real estate and the many ways real estate creates the ideal Investment here on News 1110 99.3 WBT.